Nuclear nail bomb! Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it. Today we're going to be creating this rather short, I guess for me, chrome set. I don't know what this shape is called if I'm honest, but you'll see how we get to it in a minute. These are my nails. Ugh, disgusting. I've been really bad and I bit them off and peeled some of them off and did things I shouldn't have done. But here we are. That's what your nails will look like if you do that, so don't do it. I push my cuticles back with a cuticle pusher, and I'm just going in with my cuticle bit. And I'm gently lifting the cuticle and the dead skin off of the nail beds. So it's all crusty and dusty. You'll see as I'm doing this, I'm not applying much pressure at all, just kind of dusting, tickling over my nail. I'm not trying to drill a hole into my nails, my nail bed. I'm just trying to gently lift that skin off, and I'm more pushing against my skin than my nail. Once I've done that, sorry, my dog's decided to have a big drink whilst I'm recording. Hopefully you can't hear it. Once I've done that, I'm going around and I'm just cutting off the dead skin. So we're not cutting anything that's fleshy. We don't want to draw blood. Literally just the white bits that are hanging off, the dead dry skin. This step is optional. You don't have to do it. Like I always say, I've always got lots of dry skin on my hands because I work with my hands and they're in like acetone and alcohol all the time. And I've got 2 dogs, so I'm washing my hands all the time as well. So yeah, very dry and crusty. So I like to do this to my nails. But if you are a beginner, I don't advise it. I've been doing this for years and occasionally I still cut myself. So yeah, be careful. But as you can see, look at all that gross skin that's just fallen on the table. Look at that. It's very satisfying. Yeah, look at all that. It looks like I've cut my nails, but that is not my nails. That is just thick, hard, dead skin. Yuck. Now, once I've finished that, I'm going to go in with my mini sanding band. And you just want to take the shine off the nail. You don't want to take chunks out of your nail again, like I said before. Just dust around. You'll see I'm going over my nail a little bit more than I need to, and that is purely because, as I said previously, I was naughty and I chewed my nails off. So there is still, my dog's moaning, so there is still a little bit of product on there. So where I'm going over bits repeatedly, it's because there's a bit of gel there and I'm just trying to get it off. You can also, with this sanding band, I do push my cuticle back a little bit. You do want to season the edge of the band if you're going to do this, because sometimes they are a bit sharp. And by seasoning, I mean if you turn your e-file on with this bit spinning and just get an old hand file and just put it up against the edge just to make sure it's not sharp so you don't cut yourself. And then just gently tickle it over the nail. I've got mine on 5,000 RPM. I usually would say between 3 and 5 the maximum. And I've got it on 5 because I'm trying to get those little bits of gel off my nail as well, because I was naughty. So yeah. But really you just want to get the shine off. Can you see that? It looks like a mark, a ring all around my nail. That's where I've pulled my nail off, which is very naughty. This is how you get lines and it looks like you've got like a ring of fire where you've ripped a chunk of your nail off. Really don't advise it. Sometimes when I get a bit anxious I do this, and I know a lot of people do it where they bite their nails or chew on them, and this is what happened. So yeah, I'm apologising to you that you have to see this. Don't do it. Always remove your nails properly. Like this little bit sticking up of gel. Awful, awful stuff. You can probably see that my other hand, I've already done the same to that. We're not doing the nails on that hand today. It was just because I'd also ripped some of them off, and I thought I might as well file the rest off and do my cuticles at the same time because they were looking really crusty and gross. So yeah. Once I've done that, get rid of all the dust, and then I'll see a little bit more skin sticking up. It's mad how much comes off. I'm always unpleasantly surprised. I enjoy doing it though. It is very satisfying. But yeah, look, there's loads on there. And can you see it's white? It should be white. It shouldn't be fleshy. Just dry white skin. And now I'm just going around with this ball bit. And once again, this bit shouldn't touch your nail at all. It's literally just to touch the skin around the outside. So it looks like I'm going over my nail bed, but what I'm doing is pushing it against my cuticle. I'm not actually touching the nail bed with it. And this is just to further exfoliate and get rid of any little bits that I couldn't get with my nippers. It's still really crusty. I am a crusty, dusty bitch. And once again, I've got this, I think I probably had it on at about 4,000 RPMs a minute. And it's just, I'll go around one way and then I'll flip it into reverse and I'll go around the other way. So as I go around one way, it'll kick up little bits and I'll try and get them off. And then if I put it in reverse and go back round, it'll get them off from the other way. Jeez, someone's thirsty today. Don't know if you can hear that. This is my dog having another drink. It's all the sexual harassment going on in here, unfortunately. I've got two dogs. One's a girl, one's a boy. One of them is currently in heat. The male dog doesn't have his bits, but he still is bothering her. The poor love, she just wants to chill out. Us girls know what it's like to, you know, just want to chill because it's that time of the month. And he keeps bothering her. She keeps looking at me like, what are you going to do? I'm just dusting it all off so I can get a better look and see if there's anything left. And you can see I'm pushing my cuticle back. You don't want to push it under your cuticle into that area because you'll hurt yourself, just on the skin. There we go, all done. And I seem to have skipped it, but I would have wiped my nails down with some alcohol and got rid of all the dust. And now I'm just measuring out my tips. Do this quite quickly now. Once if you're using like the same tips for a while, you kind of know what sizes you are and roughly what sizes your clients are, and it goes quite quickly. I'm just going to etch the inside of the tip so that our gel has something to cling to. You'll notice I go around the outside as well a little bit, just to thin out the cuticle area and blend it in a bit more. And I'm just wiping my nails with some acetone. You can do this instead of using dehydrator. When I'm using gel, I quite often do that. And you don't really need to use primer with the gel bottles. What's it called? It's Builder Gel, but it's nail glue type thing. Anyway, they say you don't need to use primer and dehydrator, just acetone and this straight away. But just to make sure they stick, I've used a little bit of acid primer, but it's not necessary. It's just habit at this point. And I'm doing a very thin layer. It's called All-in-One Biab from the gel bottle. It comes with, well, it doesn't come with it, you have to buy it separately, but it's what they advise to use with their Gel-X dupe type things. I can't remember what they call theirs. They call it something else, but yeah, this will just Gel-X tips, isn't it? So I did a thin coat there, and then I stuck my hand in the lamp for 60 seconds and cured, and then I've done another layer over the top. I've not cured it, and now I'm putting it on my tip, and I'll cover the whole edge bit and then drag the edge of my brush off on the cuticle area of the nail. Flick my lamp on so it's ready to go, and then make sure I'm holding it away from the lamp because we don't want to cure the gel before we've got the tip on there. And I put it on at a 45-degree angle and rock it down. making sure there's no air bubbles, and then I'll hold it under the lamp for about 10-15 seconds. I'll check that there's no spillage. If there is, quickly wipe it off, and then I'll repeat the same process on the next finger, doing another layer of the all-in-one biab or whatever gel glue you're using, making sure it's not in the lamp. And then you'll see I'm rubbing it into the indentations that we've made with the e-file, making sure it's all in there, and then dragging the edge of my brush. Move the gel out of the way because you really don't want to cure it, that stuff's expensive. And then holding it away from the lamp on at a 45-degree angle, right near the cuticle area, and then rocking it down, making sure there are no air bubbles. And I've realized there's not enough gel on there. Just going to add a little bit more. Sometimes if you go to rock it down and it's just not fully pushing all the gel to the end, it's because there's probably not enough in there. There is a sweet spot between not enough gel and too much, because when there's too much it will just spills out and you don't want that. You can, however, clean it up afterwards, but you know, we don't want to waste product because, like I said, it's not cheap. And I'm just going ahead and repeating this process on all the nails. I won't repeat myself again and again. I've done it twice. You can rewind. You heard me. And then once I've finished, I've put them all in the lamp for a full 60-second cure. And then we have it. Clack clack. The mad bitch is back. I left the cutting noise in because I find it quite satisfying hearing them pop, pop, pop. I'm just checking that they're all the same length. I always say it's better to not cut enough off than too much, because you can't glue it back on. And then once I'm happy that they're all roughly the same length, I'm going to go in with my hand file and just crisp up the edges. And then I remember that we're going to change the shape completely anyway. And I've just realised that before I start filing them, I need to make sure there's not anything sticky on there, because it will just gunk up your file, and that's gross. And you don't want to get any fluff or anything stuck to it. So I'm just wiping away any sticky layer that might have seeped out the bottom if we've had any gel come through there. And now I'm going in with my e-file, and I'm just going to go around the cuticle area, making sure there's not any spillage of the gel, and also blend the tip in with my natural nail bed. if you don't have one of these smaller mandrel bits, you can just use a normal one. But I would suggest getting one. They're very useful. I love these little ones now. I hardly ever use the big one. And they're not expensive. Oh, there goes the train. City living, eh? I do apologise for all the background noise today. It's gone now, I stopped for a minute. So once I've gone around the cuticle area, making sure there's no glue and that our tip is blended in, I'm then going to grab my hand buffer. You can do this with the e-file, I just find it quicker with the hand buffer. It's just personal preference, doesn't really matter. And just taking away all the shine so our gel polish has something to cling to. Gel doesn't like smooth, shiny surfaces. This is where I decided I wanted to change the shape, and now I am using the larger mandrel piece to do this kind of crescent moon shape, I guess it's called. I don't know how to explain how I'm doing this, so you just have to kind of figure it out by watching. I've got the e-file up quite fast and I'm holding it right in the center. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, and then making sure I get rid of those little sticky uppy bits. You want to try hard not to file the corners off. If you've got it on slow, it can like bounce and take the corners off the nails, and then they won't be as sharp. I'm applying a little bit of pressure as well, just to push it in. I hold it at an angle, and then once I've got it almost how I want it, I'm turning the file upright just to make sure it's symmetrical. And I'm going in with the smaller mandrel bit for the little finger, because I felt like the big one was too big. Sorry, I keep going out of frame there. We've readjusted the camera, and now we're doing the little fingernail. Yeah, when you see me go over the top of the nail, it's just to get rid of those little sticky outy bits that I've made. And now I can use the smaller mandrel bit just to get in the gaps. I'm also using this hand buffer to get rid of those sticky uppy bits as well. I'm sure there's a better name for them, sticky uppy bits, but you know what I mean. Now this bit's important when you're filing now with the hand file. I'm holding the file at a 45-degree angle. I'm not holding it straight, otherwise we'll just erase everything we've done. Still some sticky uppy bits. That's what they're called now. There we are. Get rid of all the dust. Give them a wipe with some alcohol. Making sure there's no dust. When I say I love watching other people's YouTube nail videos, something that just sends me off the edge when I see them go to paint their nails and there's still loads of dust. People, please. Some of us can't deal with it. Oh, it's also bad because it can leave you with like lumps and bumps. The gel doesn't stick properly, it can peel off, and also people like me watching are pulling their hair out, so please stop doing it, guys. I'm sure there's probably stuff I do that annoys people. We've all got our little pet peeves. Now I'm just going in with the base coat. Does anybody else have a vendetta against dust? I hate dust so much. I hate it. Maybe it's because I'm an Celtic and it's like the bane of my life, but I really hate dust. Anyway, now I'm going in with this FN Milky coloured gel. I do 2 coats of this. Do the first layer fairly thin, cure it for 60 seconds, and then go over it again. I forgot to say before, obviously I cured my base coat for a full 60 seconds as well, just in case you didn't know. I'm just cleaning up. I managed to get a little bit on my skin. You don't want to get any gel on your skin. And it was a split second, but it has been in the lamp for 60 seconds. I've taken it out and I'm just doing another coat. I've sped it up quite a little bit because it does become repetitive, and making sure there's none on my skin. Cure for 60 seconds. And now I'm getting rid of the tacky layer with some isopropyl alcohol. The removing of the sticky layer before adding matte top coat is optional, but I feel when I don't do it, it doesn't matter what top coat I'm using. If it's matte, I just feel like it's not as matte as it could be. So I always do that. When I'm doing sticky, I don't, but there was a bit of fluff there. When I'm doing sticky, when I'm doing a glossy top coat, I don't bother. It doesn't make any difference, but I do feel like with matte it does. And I'm putting the matte top coat on because I thought I was going to use pigment powders on all my nails, but I decided against it. But I always add a layer of matte top coat when I'm going to do nail art. I say it in all of my videos, especially if I'm doing line work, a French, any sort of drawing. I feel like if you leave the sticky layer on there, it does cause the gel polish to like kind of bleed. You don't get such a clean line. You can see on my middle finger that I'd done some pigment and then wiped it off, and it stained my cuticle area. Anyway, I just do it on this ring finger now, and that's it. And even now I'm like, do I like it? I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't like this nail set. I don't like it. It grew on me a little bit, but it's not my favourite. I feel like the last few videos I've done, oh, I'm obsessed with this set, but this set I'm not. I don't know what it is. It wasn't hitting for me, but it took all day, so I wasn't going to abandon the video. Hopefully you like them. I don't know. Each to their own, I guess. I shouldn't say things like that, should I? I should be really positive. Aren't these amazing? Gorgeous. Love them. Absolutely obsessed. And once I am sort of happy, I'm just dusting off the excess powder. And now I'm going to go over it with some more matte top coat. Because we are doing chrome on all the other nails, the matte coat will help with the powder not sticking to the places I don't want it to stick to. So you'll see the 3D stuff I do has a glossy finish to it, whereas the background doesn't, so the chrome powder doesn't stick to it. And I lied then, I didn't do matte top coat, I did shiny because I wanted to put more chrome powder on. I lied. Sorry. Now I'm doing a matte top coat. Now that I've done my iridescent chrome. Sorry if I don't sound my happy chirpy self today. having a bit of a rough day. But we carry on, you know. If I don't, I know the algorithm will just punish me. Oh, I'm a slave to the algorithm. Anyway, so now I'm coming in with my sculpting gel. You should really wear gloves touching this stuff. There are some of them that are HEMA-free and allergen tested or whatever, so that you can touch them with your bare hands. I don't know if this one is. It might be, it might not be, so I probably shouldn't be touching it with my hands, but I am. Do as I say, not as I do, as my mum says. Because you don't want to get an allergy. As with everything that happened in this set, it all went wrong, so I've left it in. This doesn't go to plan. Spoiler alert, sorry. I'm trying to make a circle, a spirally circle, and it's not going right. It's just not happening. Do you ever have a bad nail day? I do, and this was one of them. So I've taken it off. I'm going to reuse this bit, just squished it back up, and now I'm rolling it back into a little snake again, or sausage, whatever. And we're going to try again. Now my guinea pig's popcorn in. I do live in a zoo, by the way, if you hadn't noticed. So what I have done here is I've given up trying to do it on my nail, and I'm going to do it here on my handy dandy glasses case that I use every time I'm doing 3D. Any plastic surface will do. You just need something clean that's got a shiny top so you can peel stuff off of it. And this is what I have. I have a few of these because I have lots of glasses, because I am in fact blind as a bat. Anyway, so I'm doing it here. This went okay. I mean, it worked-ish. So I've stuck it on there. I'm not curing it fully because I want it to still bend a little bit, but I'm just using my little flashlight. I'm just checking to see if it is the same size as my fingernail. So I've not fully cured it, so it's still a little bit pliable. You can see it's still moving. It's not rock solid. I'm just unsticking it from the glasses case and then sliding it onto my nail, and then I'm going to bend it round. It doesn't stick, spoiler alert, so I'm going to lift it back off, and I'll put some base coat on so that my nail's sticky. Also, it's too big, so I'm pulling it tighter. Reminds me of those, what are they called? Those fruit wheels, is it? There we go. That tapping was the cogs in my brain turning, what are we going to do? Okay, so we're going to put on some base coat and make the nail sticky. And then I'm going to get my gooseneck flower. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to bend it close to the nail and hold it in place under that lamp. If I'd just stuck my hand in the lamp, it wouldn't have been flush to the nail. That's why I'm doing it with this, just so I can bend it and hold it in place. And then once I've got it down a little bit, I stick it in the normal lamp and cure it for 60 seconds. And now I'm going over it with some top coat and sealing it in. But I got it flush with the nail there, see? I bent it. I think I probably cured it on the glasses case for about 10 seconds. And just making sure there's no gel on my skin. And there we go. That's that. We do come back to it. If you remember in the thumbnail of the video, it doesn't look like that at the end. But for now, we're just leaving it. Because I've had fucking enough of it. I'm joking. Losing my will to live. You just saw me put a little bit of black gel polish on my palette. And this is that 5-in-1 super thick top coat. You can use it as a builder gel or a top coat. It's got a glossy finish, no tacky layer. I would say it's like the big top, you know, that comes in the black tub like this. Really good. Anyway, mixing that in with some black gel polish so that I can do my 3D nail art, cure it, and it won't have a tacky layer, and then I can stick my chrome straight on it without having to faff around with going over. Before, what I'd do is paint my art in black, then go over it with a liner brush and top coat, which is just a big faff. This way I don't have to, and it kind of, I'm doing it quite thick because I want it to be like an embossed nail. So yeah, I'm doing a flame. Surprise, surprise, I'm not happy with this either. I forgot to say, that's what I forgot to say. I'm using my non-dominant hand, by the way. That's why I hated everything I did, just so you know. So I am right-handed and I'm using my left hand. So things aren't going as swimmingly as I'd like. But you know, nobody's perfect. That's why I'm still uploading the video. This is not my best flame. I kind of think it looks like a coral reef instead, but you know, such is life. We just carry on, just keep swimming, as Dory says. Yeah, something about this flame just doesn't sit right. It just doesn't look right to me. I have done much better flame nails. I don't have a video on them. There are pictures of them on my Instagram, which I currently don't have access to because for some reason I've been locked out of it. Just another thing adding to my brilliant day that I'm having. Life can be testing sometimes, but you know what? You just gotta laugh and carry on. Anyway, enough about me. Back to the nails. So yeah. Just finishing off our coral reef. Flame. You can see this gel's it looks quite thick. I'm actually thinking of getting one of those like gel palettes and like the next time I do this, because I did waste quite a bit of it, putting it in the gel palettes that have like the lids. So they're like proper little artist palettes with the sections in. And I could do this with different colours and then just save it afterwards. Might do that. I might get another tub of this gel stuff because I am obsessed with it. It's really good. And I feel like it's not bleeding, if that makes sense. If you've been in the game for a while, you'll know what I'm saying, dog. I'm joking. But if you've used some gel polishes bleed when you draw with them, they kind of start to spread after time. And the same with gel, it self-levels, so it starts to spread. So if you were to apply, say, gel builder gel, builder in a bottle, whatever, you put it on and it starts spreading. Same with acrylic. You place it, if you don't touch it, it starts running and moving around and you have to push it where you want it to go. That's what I mean by bleeding. It just starts to disperse onto the nail, and I find that this doesn't. So it's great for doing like this kind of embossed nail 3D type of thing, because I'm painting and it's not moving, it's staying where I've put it, which is great. I'll just paint my finger. I'm so annoyed that I've got that pigment, like it's really stuck in my skin. I scrubbed it and it wouldn't come off. It took a few days and it did actually come off with like soap and water and moisturizing and whatever, but I think because my skin was kind of dry and I'd really rubbed it in. Anyway, I'm taking too long. So once I was, you know, mildly satisfied with the way it was looking, I put it in a lamp to cure for 60 seconds, took it out, and I'm just rubbing the chrome on with my finger. And you can see where I've got that matte top coat underneath, the chrome isn't sticking to it. There's a little bit there, here and there, but it's like nowhere near as bad as it would have been if that was, say, a tacky layer, or if it had not normal glossy top coat on it. So I definitely advise doing the matte top coat when you're doing isolated chrome like this. I've still got, I think where I may have like wiped bits off, there's a little bit of residue from the gel, so the chrome has stuck to it. But using my little what are they called? Micro swab and a bit of alcohol. Get it off, and now I'm violently trying to get that chrome out of my cuticle area, and it's not budging, but yeah. We move, you know? There we go. So I dusted it all off, cleaned up a little bit, and now I'm going to just coat the whole nail in a thin layer of top coat. I don't want to mess up the embossed area by putting a thick gloopy layer of top coat on. I still want it to kind of be a little bit raised, so I'm just doing a thin layer. There we go, in the lamp for 60 seconds. And now I've decided that this swirl should be a darker blue. But obviously I don't want to just paint it black, and I'm not going over it with a liner brush because ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm just kind of dusting over it with this black mixed with top coat stuff, just to try and get it to look somewhat like the other blue chrome. So, yeah. And I'm just like brushing it over because I don't want it to go in between the gaps and onto the actual nail. I'm just making sure that there's none on the free edge. We just want it on the spiral. As I'm spiraling out of I cured that for 60 seconds. Now I'm going over it with a chrome, making sure there's none on my nail. It's gorgeous, absolutely amazing, love it. It's fabulous, darling, yes. Do you believe me? I don't hate them, they're just not my favourite. But they're kind of cool. There's elements of them I do like. And as well, I don't remember the last time I did blue nails. I think I'm a pink girl, you know? I love green, I love pink. Blue, I don't mind it. But yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe if these were pink, I would have liked him. I don't know. But yeah. So now I'm using that same black on my little finger. I'm going to do some splodgy lines. I don't know what else to call these. Abstract? It's abstract, that's what it is. It's abstract art. This is an abstract set. Looking at this, I quite like it in black, but you know. I'm going to shut up for a bit because I'm just being a Debbie Downer. Somehow I forgot to record that one line, but I am just going to go on and do this index finger and my thumb, doing some stripes on this and then some squiggles on the thumb, and I'm doing the same process as the other nails, just painting my design, curing for 60 seconds, dusting it all off. Sorry, not dusting it all off. Putting my chrome powder on, then dusting it off and putting top coat on, but I am going to be quiet and leave you to just watch it in peace. did forget to mention, you'll see here, once I've finished top coating the nail, I'm cleaning off my brush because I don't want to stick that chrome powder back into the bottle. But anyway, here we are, all finished. I've put some cuticle oil on. What do you think? A little abstract mix and match chrome set on some Milky Gel X. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a comment. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. I promise my next video I'll sound a lot happier and the nails will be even better. Peace, love and serenity to everyone. I hope you're having a better day than me, and I love you all. Peace.